So today is June finished pages. Now I have managed quite a few this month, quite a few. I've not been doing as much diamond painting, I've just been concentrating on my art. And I've got a wobbly camera. Can you keep still? There we go. So I want to show this first whip first, because this is what I'm currently working on and it is right at the top of the pile, so we'll get this out of the way. But this one is in Kirby Roseanne's World Within Worlds, an oldie but a goodie. It's not actually really an oldie, it was this, not last one, the one before. But I started the dinosaur page and I wanted to do this for the longest time. And the main reason I didn't, all these details of the houses really did put me off. Now I did them first with Inktense pencils. I have been working with Inktense a lot this month and I've really been enjoying it. Yeah, I've really been enjoying it. I've even been using the little blocks. I've got a small pack of 10. Is my camera still wobbling? It's got a mind of its own today. Are you going to stay still? I think so. Yeah, and I've been really enjoying using the Inktense as well as the blocks. But the pack of 12 is not a really massive selection of colours, but you can mix them. But it was just with the pencils that I've used with the houses, and everything else, all the other colour that you can see, I've just based with Paul Rubens watercolours. So I still need to do more basing of this and a lot more pencil detailing, but I'm liking how it's turning out so far. So let's move on to the actual finished pages. So the first one I've got is from Colouring Chicks, I do believe. It's the Colouring Oceans Mermaids, Colouring Book 3. Now I've just done one in this. I did this very early in the month. Let's remove these tags. I used Distress ink in the background, and I think it was Holbein's with this one, Holbein's pencils. I think she turned out really cute. With a little love out on her face as well. I probably enjoyed doing the fish mostly out of this picture, and I've used some stickles. This paper isn't my favourite. It is the Amazon printed paper, but the images are just so adorable that I can slightly ignore the fact that the paper, I need to do that one, that is so cute. I can slightly ignore that fact. They are quite heavily grayscale, these pictures, so if you're not sure what to put shading in faces, or in anything actually, then I would recommend getting one of these sort of boots to practice with. So that's the very first one. We have got one from Jasmine Becket-Griffith. Now I haven't coloured in her books in the longest time. It feels like the longest time. And I so enjoyed doing this one, so enjoyed it. But I think I destroyed it a little bit with the stickles. I went a little bit overboard. This is all stickles. Now the background was quite detailed and I was not about to sit here and colour all them details, so I just blacked it out with a with acrylic paint, the American acrylic paint, and then added all my own details. I love how she turned out. I think she is adorable, and I used Prismacolor with this as well. I think she's so cute. I love how vibrant the butterflies are and how I made the wings. I just love this one. It's very messy because when I was doing all the detail of the gel pens, I constantly was putting my hand in it. I didn't even think I should have worked from the top and then work down. The gel pen is in these areas and you can see how much that I've smudged them. You can barely even see them now. So yeah, note to self, start at the top and work my way down. So that was the Jasmine Becket-Griffith. I think I've done 2 of her pictures this month. The other one is a PDF, which will come up towards the end. We've got Furry Miracles by Clara Markova. Now I am trying my best to colour a picture out of one of her books once a month. They are very expensive boots. I want to get the use out of them. So this is the one that I managed to do. And this again was all Holbein pencils and then acrylic paint in the background and lots of stickles. I'm hoping with the natural light today the camera will pick it up. I'm not using any lamps or anything. But yeah, it was a really fun page. Actually, looking at this, there's some Distress ink as well, and I've gone over the top with Holbein's. This is Distress ink, not Distress ink. Inktense pencils. This is Inktense and that's Inktense. And I've just had an Amazon thing on my watch. Yeah, and I love how this turned out. And then, like I said, just a couple of stickers. I'm really, really proud of that one. I'm glad that I've done that one this month. We have got a lot of Hannah Karlzon. A lot of Hannah Karlzon. I've still got that whip in here of that, not the space page, what was it? It was the one with the boat, weren't it? Yep, I've still not come back to this yet. I really do need to. But we did this one. And I've done a couple of videos on this. I think I showed you how to use the Inktense. But unfortunately, I showed you in this patch here. And the more I did it, the more I got used to them pencils and doing it the way that I was doing it with that technique, I feel like the better it got. So unfortunately that part isn't in the video. But yeah, I adore how this turned out. I should have pulled my other book out and showed you a side by side, but I'll leave the video link just here so you can click it if you are interested in seeing the page that I did last year, or even the year before. It might have even been 2019, I'm not sure. But I love this one, and I've seen a lot of pictures on Instagram of this finished page. So yeah, that's a Hannah Karlzon one. I do really, really love this one. And I used the Winsor & Newton gold ink as well, just for these little details. Now when I did it last time, I blanked out a lot of these, are they hexagons? Hexagons with just black acrylic paint, but no, I went all out and did nearly all of them this time. I'm so glad that I did. We have got another Kirby Roseanne's. Now this was a whip for, no it wasn't this one, it's another one that I'm thinking, oh which book is it in? Which book is it in, Deborah? Let me just double check, because we have got another one, it's a sea lion page. Yeah, so it's at the bottom of the pile. So I've got a sea lion page as well that I've done, but I did this one, and I think I did this on video from start to finish, but I fast forwarded it, I believe. And again, I wasn't about to colour all these individual objects, so I just went ahead and blacked them out. But I think that it makes it come together. Hello washing machine. But I wish I'd done the dolphins. I should have done the dolphins instead of colouring them in. But that's just the beta fish, so I've done both of them now. So they're really pretty next to each other. I would have usually gone for opposite colours, but no, I just treated it as two separate pages. So yeah, the video will be somewhere around here, linked in the description of this video if you want to watch that as well. Another Hannah Karlzon. Please don't get bored of Hannah Karlzon, because I certainly won't. Did this one, and I did show you how I created this background in this one. From mostly start to finish. I think this portion here and here I possibly might have sped up, but the majority of it I did do on film. So we've got Inktense, and then we've got Distress ink in the background. This is all Inktense. I think this is the Faber-Castell Albert Dürer watercolour pencils, as well as this bit. And yeah, I love it. I love the colour scheme. I love how it turned out. I blanked out most of the crown as well, and it's shiny, along with the bits on the beak. I love this one. But I've just noticed now I haven't added any highlights. I'm going to do that right now. I want to make sure that I keep this book open. So let's just add a couple of squiggles, maybe a star. How did I not notice this? And I've added this on Instagram as well. How annoying. So there's one that's already there. And here, a little star there. Nothing too much. Just make sure I don't forget now to close this book. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this one. It was so fun to do. So that's going to have to get put in a separate pile to let it dry. Don't fall off there. Don't fall off there. We've got Hannah Karlzon again, Magical Dawn. And this is the one that I did the background. I did everything in my own time, I think, with this one. And I shared it on Instagram, and a couple of people had asked for a tutorial on the background, so that's why I ended up doing that other page. But this was, again, so fun. I actually pulled out my pan pastels. I've not used my pan pastels in such a long time, and smack on the wrist for me, because they are an expensive medium not to use, and I do feel terrible. So I'm thinking of doing each month like a media of the month. So this month just gone would have been Inktense pencils. Maybe next month will be alcohol markers. The next month after that will be just pencils, which I'm not like the biggest fan of, but I will do. So maybe that's something that I could do. Let's choose one medium that I mainly use a month, because as you can see I've used a lot of Inktense pencils this month. But yeah, I love how vibrant this is. And I have shared as well my before. I think this one definitely was from 2019, and then I recreated it, and this is today's. And I've given it lovely grey white hair. I love this one, I really, really do. I'm so proud of this one. And I've even coloured all the tattoos, which I didn't do that in the original. So we've got Hannah Karlzon again. I do apologise. This is Daydreams this one. So we've got a very messy background. I did this one for Kirsty's hashtag for her birthday. So I did this right at the start of the month. I wanted to get it done so I didn't forget. And I can't remember, was it my birthday colouring month? Something like that. And I've used a lot of watercolour in the background. I literally went ham with this. That's why there's a terrible bleed through on the other side. But I'm planning on doing a video as well on how I rescue a page. So how would I rescue a page like this? How would I cover up the mess on the opposite side? And yeah, I definitely will. And again, I wasn't about to sit here and do all these little details, so I just picked some to do and then white gel pen on the outside. But yeah, it was a really fun page this. So she asked for us to colour a crab, and then after me starting this and messaging her saying I can't find any pictures of crabs on, I'd already started and finished this, and I found loads. Always the way, that, always the way. So this is a piece of original art. I got the pastel matte paper and I just wanted to try it out with pastel pencils, and I created this one. So I just found a reference picture on Google of a moon, and I created this, and it was so fun. It was so messy, I mean, to the point of it was up my arms, it was on my elbows, it was on my eyebrow, it was everywhere. But it was so fun to do this. I'm really impressed, not with the moon, I'm not really happy with the moon, but the fact that I've managed to blend this out. So it's gone from like a light sky going darker and darker and darker to eventually get into the black. I'm really pleased. It did take me about 3 hours to do this though. It took me a long time because I wasn't used to the paper. I hadn't used the pastel pencils in a long time. But yeah, I'm happy with how that turned out. So I think I want to put that in a separate pile. I forget sometimes I need to press pause and have a drink because the amount that you talk when you're doing these videos. So I did just pause it there. Anyway, so we're moving on to Mystic Art mirrors. Now this was it was part of a pack of 3 on Etsy that I purchased, and I printed it out onto the Strathmore tone tan paper. Now I do really like this paper. I like it because it makes the colours pop, but, and this is a big but for me, it doesn't really like any sort of water. So I use Inktense on these flowers and I do not like how they turned out one bit. I've tried to go over and hide the fact that I've messed up the flowers with a bit of pencil, and I'm still not happy with it. The distress ink in the background, it has made the paper, I mean I know I could iron it, I do iron some of my pages, but it's made it bow really bad. It's not watercolour paper, but for instance the Kirby books or the Jasmine Becket-Griffith books, if I use water they have no trouble handling it. And this is quite pricey paper to begin with, but I like the overall effect of it. I'm just a little bit disappointed with how much, I mean there's a bit of a crease here where I've been a bit heavy handed as well. So yeah, I've used pastel pencils as well for the bird, I think. I'm pretty sure I did, and some stickles on the butterfly. But yeah, that's a bit of a nudie picture, that, isn't it? It's a naughty picture. So another Mystic Art mirrors, and this one is this one. Why have I got 2 tags? So we'll keep one tag in the book and then we'll take this one out. Now this was printed out on, it's the paper that Sammy recommends. It's not a branded paper, I don't think. If I can, I'll try and find it and link it down below, but this takes the water a hell of a lot better than the tone tan one. And I used a lot of stickles on this, and then the distress ink in the background. This was just a really fun page. I'd had my eye on this one for a little while, but I didn't know what to do with the boat. I knew I wanted it to be brown, so I tried to pull all the other colours together. I even added some green shadows as well to her hair, and a lot of stickles on the tail. I'm really happy with how that turned out. And actually there's some Paul Rubin watercolour just on these bubbles, so I cheated a bit there and just put paint over the top instead of colouring them in. But I did bind this book myself. I printed it off, made my own front cover and back cover, which is coming a bit loose. I need to fix that if you were interested. And that one was Ocean Dreams. I've done one from the Mandala Dreamcatcher. I just sat down one night and I didn't want to do anything too serious, and this is the book that I grabbed for. Now the background is all watercolour. I have shown a couple of different tutorials of how I create this sort of background, and I've put the salt effect over the top. This is all Tombow brush markers with a bit of polychromos over the top, and then the rest is just gel pen. And again, I am not about the small little details sitting here for 2.5 hours filling it in, so I just didn't, and I think it looks alright without it anyway. I think the fact that the background is so in your face, it makes up for it. But the paper in these books are really, really good. I mean, it did take the water well. As you can see with this one, it did more of a dramatic effect. But again, it's not watercolour paper, and I need to keep reminding myself that. So that was the Colour Mandala Dreamcatchers. I'm not even going to try and pronounce this one. Atomic Spook something or other. I can't pronounce it. And I had this one on the go for probably about 4 nights on and off, because it was so detailed, and I did this all with Inktense pencils and then just the clouds with Neoco too. And it took a lot of effort for me to finish this page, because like I said, it is very, very detailed. Some things I can get away with not colouring, like the Mandala one. I didn't want to do that. But this, if I left this portion not coloured, or it would have looked a bit silly. So it did take a lot of patience from my side to get this finished. But yeah, I like the overall effect, and it does remind me of Game of Thrones apart from this. Turn that into a dragon, and that reminds me of Game of Thrones. I think that's one of the main reasons that I picked this page to do. But there's some really lovely images in this one, and some of them are single-sided, I do believe. Yeah, like this one. It's with the dragon's head. And then you have got double page spreads. I mean, they're so detailed, oh, so detailed. So yeah, I'm happy that I've done one out of this book. I think that's only the second one that I've done out of his books, to be honest. Oh, we've got another Jasmine Becket-Griffith. I lie. Oh, the whale, I forgot about this. I love how this one turned out. Again, all watercolour with a tiny bit of polychromos and stickles. And then these lines that you can see here are glossy accents. I went ahead and put some pastel pencils to make like a light source coming down, but it didn't work, so I went over the top with glossy accents, and that didn't really work. It looks like I'm not even going to say what it looks like. It looks like buggers. But I love the stickles, and I love the effect of the water in the background. It was just a really easy one to do this, easy and fun to do. So that was out of the mermaids one. And then we've got a pop manga one. I'm not overly impressed with this, but I might as well share it, because I did finish this one off, that I started the background off in oil pastels on the channel. And I just used the Inktense blocks with this. Didn't put any pencil shading. I wanted it to be quite messy. And I like the way that this one turned out. I do like the way that one's turned out. It's unfortunate that that one's not. I had to mix my own green colour and mix my own skin colour, and it didn't really turn out as I imagined. But it was a quick sit down hour, get it done, get it done with sort of thing. As you can see, I have done a lot this month, a lot. We have got Fragile Worlds now. If this is the one that I'm thinking, the seal, this was a whip from last month. Yep, and I've just added a little bit of Inktense detailing on this one, just with the blocks. And yeah, I don't really know what else. It would be better if it's all in frame. I don't really know what else to say. I added some white acrylic for the waves, and I believe the majority of this, I'm just checking for bleed through, is just watercolour. It would have been the Winsor & Newton watercolour or the Paul Rubin. And then just a little bit of the Inktense pencil blocks, just for a little bit of detailing. But yeah, another fun one, another easy one. So we're coming up to the end now. So we've got another Hannah Karlzon. This one's Jewelry Box, and I just did this one now. I finished this one off last night. I just wanted something quite easy to do. I was sat here watching, what was I watching? One of me true crime documentaries on the iPad. And I just wanted something easy to do, so there's a lot of distress ink on the background with the splatter effects that I normally do. And then the key was just done with Inktense pencils, that's it. No other shading, and I think I'm quite happy with the amount of shading I've managed just with them pencils. I know that they do pack a punch, you don't need any other pencils, but at the start of the month I really did struggle with Inktense, and I feel a little bit more confident, that's the right word, confident using them now. So we've got this one, Dragonology, the colouring book. And I did this one, and this was again all in Inktense pencils. So this is my idea with me saying the media of the month. Like, I've not pulled out my alcohol markers and really sat down and played with them, or like the Tombow pens, I've only used them once this month, or my gouache. I'm thinking of trying my best to change it up and use some of the older supplies and maybe give you a little bit of inspiration as well to try different things. I love how he turned out. I think he's adorable. I mean, that's coming from me who loves dragons. But yeah, it was so fun to do this one. And I did this in one sitting, I do believe, and just a little bit of distress ink in the background. Nothing too overboard. I did try and use Neocolor 2s here and here, and I didn't like how it was settling on the paper, so I stopped immediately and switched over to the distress ink. But yeah, if you like dragons, then this is a super fun one. Now, I do believe that Colour in Heaven came out with some of the images that are in here, but the paper is a little bit better in this as well. So this is the other one. I've got Rolo talking to me. This is the other Jasmine Becket-Griffith, and this is a PDF from her Patreon. So I joined her Patreon at the start of the month. Yeah, it was the start of the month. And I've got 3 or 4 pages that I've printed off. And I did this one, and as you can see, all the background, this was full of detail. Like, there were flowers and trees, and there was just stuff everywhere. I'm not doing it. I wasn't doing it. I just did the main illustration itself with the dragon, and the rest of it I went over with acrylic paint and Mod Podge Extreme Glitter. Is the camera going to pick up how sparkly it is? Hopefully. Yeah, it should do. But how damn cute is she? Oh, she's so cute. She's so cute. I love how I did her eyes and then the little dots in her hair. I just think that she's absolutely adorable, and I love her, and she's so cute. And if that was a doll, I'd definitely buy it. We've got another one from Colouring Chicks. I wasn't happy with this one, I'm not gonna lie. This was a love of labour, and I was happy that it was done. I even used the acrylic gel over the top, and it's given the paper a nice texture. But yeah, I don't like it. I don't like the colours, I don't like the skin, I don't like where I put the stickles. I just don't like it. It's not the artist's fault. The page that before I'd coloured it was absolutely stunning. Some of these pictures in here really are beautiful, but I think I messed this one up. I've well and truly messed this one up. So yeah. So the very last one, surprise surprise, is another Hannah Karlzon Magical Dawn. Now, I did go ahead and buy a second copy. This isn't the second copy, this is the first one, because there were so many pictures that I wanted to do again. But this was another, it was easy, it was over, probably took me about 3 or 4 hours to do this. I worked in the background. I didn't do the same technique though, like with the lines. I was going for more random shapes and objects in the background, like a tie-dye effect, and I really enjoy how this turned out. I really enjoy it actually. And then all the pencil work, all the detail is Arteza colour pencils. Now, I don't use them pencils enough. They really are nice coloured pencils, especially for the price tag. And I'm a big fan of Prismacolor, and I really do like the Arteza ones, I really do. But yeah, that is everything that I've coloured this month. I really like that one, but I've got to say, just because of how adorable it is, this one is my favourite. I might even print that off and do it again, and then cut out that and put it on something like laminate it if I can, I don't know, and make something out of that, because she's just too cute. She's just too cute. So let me just count. So I did that one original art, so I'll class that as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I've got 19 pictures and 1 whip that I've done this month, which I thought I'd done more than that, actually. I really did think that I'd done more than that. But I hope you enjoyed the video nonetheless. If you're new, please do subscribe and give me a big thumbs up. It really does help out my channel, and I'm almost at 4,000 subscribers. I think I'm about 20 off when filming this video. So please do share my channel to your friends and family if they're interested in this sort of art, or chatty videos, or diamond painting. And let's tidy this up, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!